Orange County Fire Rescue.
This is Best 30 per Rapid. He's showing 3626 Quadrangle Boulevard.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I need a fire truck.
All right, tell me exactly what happened.
The truck that I'm working on, the leaves are on fire in the truck, and it's on fire.
Okay, the truck itself is on fire?
Yes.
Okay. Help is on the way. I got to ask, just so you know, help is on the way. What's your name, sir? Down the line with me, okay?
Yeah.
Are you at the location right now?
Yes.
Is the vehicle inside a building or a structure?
No.
What type of vehicle is on fire?
It's a sweeper truck, one of those trucks that sweep up debris.
Okay, like a street sweeper?
Yes. I hear the engine.
Yes, sir. Okay. Is the fire threatening anything?
No.
Is anyone trapped?
No.
Does the vehicle use alternative fuels?
No. Strictly diesel.
Is anyone injured?
No, not at this time.
What type of cargo is the vehicle carrying?
None. Just garbage.
Okay. The fire department is being sent down the line. I'll tell you exactly what to do next. Do not try to put the fire out. Do not try to get back in the vehicle to get personal items. Move at least 100 feet away from the vehicle and the general area. If it's safe to do so, keep all bystanders away from the area. Meet the firefighters in a safe location. Do not approach or enter any hazardous or dangerous areas. I'm going to let you go now. Help is on the way.
Right.
If anything worsens in any way, call us back immediately for further instructions. I just want to confirm we're going to 3626 Quadrangle Boulevard, and this is the cross street will be High Tech and Corporate Boulevard, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, sir. We're directly behind the extended stay.
Great.
I saw 2 police cars already go by, but they just kept going.
Okay, sir. And your phone number is?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, sir. You can go ahead and disconnect now, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Behind you.
Hey guys, so it has been a little minute. I have been dealing with some other stuff and I haven't really had time to put up videos, but I did want to put up a video today. I want to give you a little backstory about what you're seeing in the background. You're going to see a few shots of pictures that Jeremy took while he was working. So Jeremy at some point was working 2 jobs. He had a night job and he had a job during the day. So when Jeremy got the night job, he claimed that he wanted to have that job so he could use it to pay back people. So he wanted to pay back his attorney. He wanted to pay back his mom's. He wanted to pay me back for money that was loaned. I personally have not seen a dime of any of that, but he said that was the reason. When Jeremy had this job, it's like a sweeper job where you ride around in the truck and you're like cleaning up the roads and stuff like that. So when he had this job, he sent me pictures the night that this happened, and he sent me pictures of all the different leaves and everything that were in this parking lot that he had to clean. And then he called me around like 10 o'clock at night and told me that he almost passed away in this truck. So you just heard the 911 call that Jeremy had with the fire rescue. And he's just explaining, what happened and that he needs, the fire trucks to come out. The next call that you're going to hear is a call between him and a representative from Progressive Insurance. This is the conversation that happened between Jeremy and the representative on a recorded line through the insurance company, of course. It wouldn't be a Jeremy recording without, a few lies sprinkled in there. So one of the bigger lies that he's telling in the recording is that he and his wife are separating or divorced. It's not going to shock you to know that no, they have not divorced. No, they are not separated. And they are lying about their status, their marital status. The reason for the lie is so stupid. It doesn't even make any sense. I don't know how to really summarize this. So basically, Jeremy had an accident in a commercial vehicle. And the commercial vehicle is insured by Progressive. Progressive has a representative that has to reach out to Jeremy's insurance, vehicle insurance, as well as his wife's vehicle insurance or any other adult who lives at the home who has vehicle insurance. And then their insurance is supposed to help cover any of his medical costs, and then whatever they don't cover, then Progressive will make up for. I think I explained that well. If not, I apologize, but she's going to explain that a lot better than I will. There are no extra costs. Your insurance doesn't go up. There isn't anything that, you really have to worry about in that situation. It seems pretty self-explanatory, but unfortunately, when Jeremy's wife heard about this, she went completely bonkers. She and Jeremy, according to Jeremy, came up with this plan where they were going to pretend that they weren't married and they don't live in the same household so that her insurance company isn't filing any claims. Yes, it sounds stupid. No, it doesn't make any sense, but that's what they came up with.
That's not going to happen. I'm not on her policy. I don't have car insurance through her, and this is a workman's comp incident, not a vehicle car accident. So you guys already did try to go after my wife's insurance on Monday this week. Today's Wednesday? So already you tried that on Monday. So I just want to make sure that it's very relayed, because going around and trying to take money from that insurance policy isn't going to work. We don't even have full coverage on it. So it would get kicked back anyways. I don't need the additional headache of that. So, but anyways, moving forward, what else can we talk about?
Who resides with you at the address 2404?
Nobody. I'm divorced.
Okay. You just mentioned that you have a wife.
Right. We're no longer together. That's the problem.
Okay,
That's where you guys are causing me problems. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Actually.
How does it matter? Your client's vehicle caught fire and burst fire on me. How the fuck?
Okay,
Mr.
Jeremy, we're talking about PIP. Okay, we're not talking about the vehicle. I'm going to explain something to you. In the state of Florida, PIP is no fault. Okay, there's different parts of a claim. There's your part, which has to do with you and your injuries. There's the part of the vehicle. And then if you were involved in an accident involving another vehicle, then it would involve the other vehicle and the other parties, okay? Then there's the owner of the policy, and there are multiple different parts of the claim. We are now speaking about you, the person, not the vehicle. I do not handle the vehicle part of the claim. I handle injury portion of the claim, meaning the person, okay? So my questions that I will be asking you are in relation to coverage. I have to ask these questions because I have to clear coverage. If coverage is not clear, you will not be receiving coverage to pay for your medical bills. So we have to get this.
So then I get a lawyer and sue you.
If you would like to get an attorney, you just provide me with your attorney information. I will request the information from your attorney. Your attorney will then have to provide me the same information I'm asking you for.
Okay, so go ahead and ask your questions.
All right. So who resides with you?
No one. I'm by myself.
All right. And when did you mention that? Earlier you mentioned that you have a wife, but then you're now stating that you are divorced.
Well, we're separated. We don't live together. Okay. We're not involved. We're not in a marriage. We don't have anything going on.
Okay, that's fine. So, that is okay.
Right.
You informed me that you're separated. Now, when were you separated from your wife? I just need to know when.
I don't know, like 2 years ago.
Okay.
A year and a half ago. And then I got her calling me and blowing up my phone and yelling at me that her insurance company that's separate from me completely because we're not together is trying to then say that you guys are trying to pull money from her account or her insurance.
There is no money that's involved with taking from one.
You know what I mean by file and claim. You know what
I'm going to explain how PIP works. I will explain in more depth with you. As I mentioned to you, there's different parts to a claim. We're talking about injury. Injury is no fault, okay? So there's nothing that gets taken from her policy when it comes to no fault, okay? All right, so So you said you're separated now for 2 years. And do you know where your wife resides? This is going to help with clarifying coverage.
Somewhere in Orlando, I don't know.
Okay. I noted that you stated to me that you and your wife is separating. Okay.
Right.
All right. Do you know if there's a workers' compensation claim open for you?
Yes.
And there was no one else in the vehicle with you?
No.
Do you own any vehicles?
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Do you own any vehicles, Mr. Jeremy? And I'll explain to you why I'm asking.
I own multiple vehicles.
Okay.
Are they insured? No.
Okay. What vehicles do you own?
I own a 250. I own a Dodge Charger. I own multiple motorcycles. I own a Dodge Durango.
And do all these vehicles, are they garaged with you at your address?
Some are. I really don't understand what this has to do with me. I'm sorry. I understand what you told me. Quite honestly, I don't care what you told me. I did not have an accident. A vehicle burst into flames while I was driving it.
It's still considered an accident. It's still considered an accident because it's a claim. Okay? So it might not be an accident.
I have no assets for you to go after for him. Okay? I have no insurance.
Let me explain.
I have no insurance. I have no assets.
Explain to you. Okay. I'm going to explain to you how PIP works. Okay? In the state of Florida. So this is not me. I want you to calm down because I'm here to assist you, not to make this any difficult for you. Okay?
With all due respect, it doesn't seem that way. I'm telling you, I don't have vehicles. Because I have them in my driveway. Doesn't mean that I own them and I'm driving them. They have no insurance.
I'm going to explain something to you. I can answer your questions and you can answer my questions. The question I'm asking you, as I mentioned to you, it is pertaining to coverage. I need to be able to clear coverage so we can move forward with this claim. No bills.
I have no coverage.
Okay. You are seeking coverage through Progressive. You are not a Progressive insured. I have to clear coverage for you in regards to this accident. That is how a claims process works. I am here to assist you. The questions I'm asking, as I mentioned, are related to this claim. I can understand your frustration. Please.
And I get it, but I don't have anything.
Please allow me to finish.
Sure.
Please allow me to finish.
Sure. Okay.
I can understand your frustration. This is part of the claims process. I have to get the information from you, and then I will provide you with more information at the end. I am only doing my job. I'm here to assist you. At the end of the day, somewhere you're going to receive coverage. I'm going to explain that to you. Allow me to do my job, and I can assist you better. Okay?
Sure. If it wasn't for the fact that you guys went and tried to take my wife's insurance, who is in constant argument and headache, and now she's threatening to take my daughter away from me because you guys are screwing me with something that I didn't even tell you her insurance. So I'm dealing with that right now because you guys went to her insurance when we're not even together. So
I'm going to explain how that works.
Oh, okay.
We're going to explain how that works.
But
no,
I
understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Because she's talking about taking my daughter away from me.
I am here to assist you, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit on a call with you and you're going to be disrespectful, and I'm simply just trying to assist you. Okay? So if you would like to continue the conversation, I would gladly go ahead and do so, but I am not going to sit on a call with someone who's going to be disrespectful towards me when I am not in any way being disrespectful towards you.
Well, you are. You're being condescending, but it's okay.
I am not being condescending. How am I being condescending when asking a question?
You're fine, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
All right. So we're going to continue, and I'm going to ask that if you do have any questions moving forward, please save them to the end of the call, and I will gladly answer them for you.
Great.
That was a lot. So eventually, Jeremy was able to get his little workman's comp or whatever, and they were paying for his medical bills. When the fire department came out, they did a little investigation, I guess. Not a full investigation, just sight on scene. And they said that it looked like a normal, fire. There wasn't anything unusual about it. Apparently, all the leaves that, Jeremy was sweeping up, some of the leaves got caught up in something, and then everything burst into flames. That's the story. This is probably the 7th or 8th time that Jeremy has been involved in an accident that involves a fire. One of his most recent accidents that involved a fire was back in 2019. This happened at an office that he was moving into. When I first met him, he was at another office. He was moving into this one. When we met in 2018, he had been at the Orange Blossom location for quite a while. And then he decided that he wanted to upgrade or whatever the hell he was doing. He was definitely trying to build up Metro and expand Metro. That was, at the height of everything when, all the money was starting to roll in. That was also around the time when Jeremy was at his worst, in my opinion. He was super arrogant, very mean, very cruel. And, money changes people. And I think that it was really changing him. But anyway, so the point of all this is that Jeremy has been around multiple fires. He's told me, like I said, about at least 7 or 8. To me, that's really weird. I'm not saying that he started anything or he did anything. It's just I've personally never met anyone besides Jeremy who's been involved in so many fire accidents. I mean, there are only like 3 groups of people that I can think of who have seen so many fires. The first group would be, firemen, firewomen. The second would be Smokey the Bear. And the third would be people who intentionally set fires. So, of course, it wasn't enough that he was given the workers' comp and, that they were paying for his medical bills and things like that. That wasn't enough for him. At first, he tried to file a claim with the insurance company to have his belongings replaced, monetarily, of course. And they refused to do so. And then he tried to get his employer to write him a check for the things that he claimed he lost. That caused a lot of tension between him and his employer because he didn't believe him when he said that he lost certain things. And he shouldn't have believed him because Jeremy was lying. Jeremy said he had different chargers and tablets and he had 2 or 3 phones in the truck and they all burned up. That's not true. None of that was real. A couple of the things that he claimed were lost in the fire, I actually saw after the fire, took video of it. I mean, it doesn't matter because he didn't get anything from it anyway. But it just, it just proves that there's always something that he's going to do to try to get over on people. As far as the workers' comp, he claimed that he had all of these injuries. Like he said, he was having issues breathing, and he probably was. But what he didn't mention is that he came down with a really, really bad cold before that, and he was having issues breathing before this even happened. He also claimed he had shoulder pain and neck pain and back pain and every type of pain you can think of. He and his wife were going to Centric Hair like every week, every other week, to get refills for his prescriptions and claiming he had all these problems. But I think it was like maybe 3 weeks after the fire happened, and they went to his mom's house and they were moving like his grandfather's furniture around. They moved his grandfather's old furniture into their house and got rid of their old furniture. And I mean, he had no issues doing that, but he was, collecting these payments. And obviously, I don't have to tell you that, obviously that was already told. Don't really know what's going on with that. I don't even know if anything will ever happen with it, but it's just something that, another thing that shows who he is, his character, their character. So while I was getting this video together, while I was preparing it, I wanted to look for an update about something that I was made aware of. After Jeremy and his wife moved into their new home, they decided to make some renovations. And one of the renovations was for the kitchen, and the other was putting up a new fence for the property. All the renovations were financed, and none of the renovations were fully paid. I don't think the kitchen company ever went after them. I remember when they came to the house and everything, and they were, doing the cabinets, and they were so nice. And for them to not be paid anything is just kind of crazy to me. but that's what happened. However, the bank that financed that fence, they absolutely went after them. So they filed a lawsuit against Jeremy's wife, and it has her name here as the defendant, but her last name is misspelled. Now, if you didn't know them, and if you didn't know any better, you would think, oh, the company, they misspelled it. This wasn't done on purpose. It's something that's completely innocent. By now, you should know that Jeremy uses multiple names. He uses multiple spellings and misspellings of his name. She uses different spellings and misspellings and different names, but I'll get into that later. First, I want to talk about this complaint. So the complaint is obviously because they didn't pay anything, or they didn't pay the full amount for the fence that was financed. You'll notice that Jeremy's name is nowhere on here. There's no other listed defendant. It is only her. According to the documents, they've been trying to get these payments since at least 2021. They have not been able to get any payments from them. They've been sending them letters, and they've been ducking and dodging. You know what? I should clarify that, because I keep saying them, and it's really not them. It's only her. She's the only person who's listed on this account. So she's been ducking and dodging them, and she hasn't been responding to the mail that they've been sending. I'm going to talk more about this, and I'm going to have more details, but I don't want to really say anything right now because I have something else that I want to show you. But I will say that when Jeremy was released, because, Jeremy went away, as they like to say, he went to camp. When he went away and he was released in September of 2022, a few things changed when he got home. One of the things that changed was his ability to get into the house and to get into the mailbox. One major issue that they were having was that she refused to give Jeremy the new mailbox keys. As of March of this year, I think he still didn't have a key. So from that time frame of 2022 all the way to March of 2024, she was the only person who really had access to the mail. And that's very important, and I'll tell you why in a second. So when companies are asking for their money, they're sending you mail. They're sending you correspondence, and they're asking for you to make payments. Now, I'm sure we've all been in that situation where we receive a bill and, we're familiar with the company, we've done business with them, but it's like, I don't owe this, or, you're overcharging me. And you call the company and you talk to them and you try to come to a resolution. And of course, if you're ever in like a nightmare situation where you receive a bill from a company you're not familiar with, and you don't owe them anything, and you've never done business with them, you're going to freak out. You're going to stop everything that you're doing, put everything down, immediately get on the phone. You might Google them first to make sure that they're like legitimate. And then you're going to get on the phone and you're going to call them, and you are going to like raise hell. You are not going to open a bill from a company you're not familiar with and then just let it sit there for years and keep receiving mail from them for years without resolving that issue. That is what a rational, reasonable person would do. The only reason you would look at a bill and put it to the side, or look at a bill and avoid it for so long, is because you know that you owe it. You know it's yours. So the poor company is going after her and trying to get their little monies, and it's not working. I mean, how many letters can you send someone for 3 years, I think, at that point? So they decided to call in the big dogs. They found this law firm, and I guess the law firm had this process server. And I don't know her name. Her name is on some of these documents, but I haven't really looked at it. I do know that when she came to the house, she was not playing games. For a while, someone had been coming to the house, and Jeremy they thought that someone was trying to serve his wife for his court dates. So they thought it was about his felony cases. So this woman had been trying for quite some time to serve his wife with this paperwork about the lawsuit. And so she showed up one day when Jeremy wasn't there, and Jeremy was talking to her through the Ring camera. And Jeremy was telling her that no one's home, we're not there, we're out of the country, whatever lie he was telling. Well, the woman wasn't stupid, and she also had ears, and she could hear Jeremy's daughter crying behind the door. So she said, well, there's a child here. I hear her crying. So how are you not home and there's a child here? Jeremy tells her to go away, that there's no one there. And the woman decides that she's going to take care of the situation. So she does what, she felt was the right thing to do. She contacted the police. She said, I'm trying to serve this woman with paperwork. She tells the police that the husband is telling her that he's not home and the wife isn't home, and she hears a child crying. The cops show up and, they're knocking at the door and basically demanding that she opens the door because there is a child crying. And once that is done, then of course she is served with the paperwork for the lawsuit. Now, I know some people would say that what the process server did was dirty. I would say that what she did was genius. They wanted to play a game and pretend like no one was at home, and she played right along with them. So after she was served, they had an appointment for mediation. Normally, it would end there, right? You're just going through mediation, you're trying to resolve the issue. Unfortunately, this is someone who can never be held accountable for what they do. There's always an excuse. So this is what she did next. She blamed Jeremy. She said she had nothing to do with it. She denied all the claims that they made against her. She said that Jeremy took care of everything. Her husband did it all. She didn't do any of it, which makes no sense. I've learned through this whole process not to reveal everything that I know. So I did tell you all about the mailbox, but I'm not going to tell you about everything because I want to see how this plays out. And I want to see if she's actually going to move forward with blaming him. I don't think she realizes how easy it is to dispute what she's saying, but I'm holding that for now. So anyway, they have the mediation and then she blames Jeremy. She's saying that she has no knowledge of the transaction and that Jeremy handled the purchase. And then the law firm is saying that there's a chance that fraud was committed on the financing company. I will tell them that fraud absolutely was committed, but it wasn't committed by Jeremy. Let me rephrase that. It wasn't committed by Jeremy and Jeremy alone. How is it that someone is always so close to the crime scene, but they never have any idea what's going on? This is probably like what the 6th time now that she's been very, very close to Jeremy committing some type of fraud, and she never has any idea why it happened or how it happened. If Jeremy is committing all of this fraud, why would you allow him to take care of anything that has to do with your life, especially that has to do with your finances? Why would you allow him to have control of anything if this is what he does? To me, it's sort of the equivalent of someone who always shows up where a missing body has resurfaced. How are you always here? How are you always connected and you don't know anything that's going on? I don't understand how people can be fooled by that. Maybe I'm, like I said, biased because I know what's going on behind the scenes, but even if I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, it's like, how many times are you going to be right there, front and center, your name plastered all over the documents, and you say that you don't know what's happening? Like I said, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I'm going to wait and see if they actually do file something or if they're investigating something, and then go from there. I want to make it clear that I'm not defending Jeremy, but if it's bullshit, I'm going to say it's bullshit. Anyway, so that's it for now. I do have at least a couple more videos that I'm working on. And, there's a lot of stuff that I need to talk about, and that's coming up. One of the things I do want to discuss pretty soon is Jeremy's failure to appear for his federal case. I want to talk about what led up to that and where he was when he missed his hearing. Spoiler alert, he was not with me.
Good afternoon. This is Nilese of the Ledan Law Firm. Just trying to reach Mr. Dewitte. Mr. Ledan would like to speak to him in regards to a plan for turning himself in. If you could give me a call back, that'd be great. Thank you and have a good day.